Okay guys, so I'm going to give you my personal review as a full-time user on both the Samsung Galaxy S5 versus the Samsung Galaxy S6. Now I've used both of these phones extensively. First thing I want to talk about is battery life. You know, you're reading on the internet and watching the YouTube videos, they're saying the S6 doesn't last as long as the S5 because it's a smaller milliamp battery. I can tell you guys, both of these phones I get about 11 hours of one full battery charge. And 11 hours, you may think that that's not a lot of time. Well, I do consider myself as an active user. Give you another example. My iPhone 6, I get like 10 hours. These two phones, I get about 11 hours on both of these, and that's with same apps, same all 13 of my email addresses synced, and I'm an active user. I'm constantly on the phone, so I get 11 hours for both of these phones. Another thing is like build quality. Everybody knows that the Samsung Galaxy S6, you know, comes with like aluminum and glass plating versus the plastic and perforated casing for the S5. The thing is, honestly, the S5 does feel better in my hand and doesn't feel slippery, opposed to the S6. The S6 just feels slippery in my hands, you know, just like the iPhone 6, it feels slippery. With the S5, it just feels better in my hands. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip out. Another thing is, let's talk about like water resistant. Everybody knows that the S5 is like IP67 water resistant. Samsung claims you can put it in water up to like 1 meter, which is like 3 feet, for up to 30 minutes. And opposed to the iPhone or the Samsung Galaxy S6, where it's not water resistant. Now with the S5, I can tell you guys that it's awesome to take photos like underwater, and it's awesome to take videos underwater as well. In fact, I went to Bangkok and I went snorkeling, and I took this phone down as much as 8 feet deep, and I did video and I did pictures. I'll put the links below where you guys can see. It's an awesome video, like really, and I had absolutely no problems with my S5. S6 is not water resistant. However, I seen a video test on YouTube, and they did put it in a little bit of water for quite some time, and the phone was perfectly fine. But so if you drop this phone into the in the toilet or something like that, chances are it's still going to be okay. But even like my Galaxy S3 and 4, I put those by accident into the wash machine, and it went pretty much through a full cycle. When it was on, by the time it came out, it was still on. Another thing is, let's talk about removable battery. Okay, the S5 has a removable battery, and you can actually expand the storage. On the S6, there's no removable battery, and you cannot expand the memory. Now, in terms of like battery, I would personally, I like to have a removable battery, because if anything is ever wrong with your phone, like a lot of times when you do like a cold reboot, basically you just pop the battery out, put it back in, it'll solve a lot of like glitches and like lagginess and stuff like that. Another thing is too is, you know, rather than carrying like a, always carrying like a power bank around, and you got to carry like the wire to recharge your phone, I kind of like having this extra battery on me, because it's like smaller, it's, you know, to carry the wire, and you can keep it in your back pocket. So it's a lot easier for me. Now, in regards to expandable memory, now the reason why I think the S6 doesn't offer an expandable memory is because these other prior Samsung Galaxy phones, and even the Notes, they are notorious for corrupting SD cards. I went through so many SD cards. You know, you'll pop a new SD card in there, it'll work for like 3 months or 6 months or 8 months, and eventually it'll start corrupting a couple pictures, or the whole thing will be corrupted. So it's just like even the iPhone 6, you cannot expand the memory, and the same thing with the Galaxy S6. Now, the other thing too, the Galaxy S6 did same thing as all the iPhones, is basically the SIM card. In order to eject the SIM tray, you have to put like a little key pin in here, or back of like a stud earring or paper clip to like pop this out. With the Galaxy S5, you just pop the back plate off, and you can put a new SIM card in there. And the reason why I mentioned about the SIM card is because I travel a lot internationally, and when I arrived to China like a few weeks ago, I wanted to switch SIM cards and I didn't have no freaking key pin, so I was kind of like in a panic. Like, so eventually some girl lent me her like earring to pop it out, but it was a pain in the butt, like trying to get somebody to help me to take out my SIM tray on my phone. Another thing is camera. First thing is this too. The S6 is awesome because I love how you can just go into the home menu here. I mean, once you're like in the home screen anywhere, you just double click the home button and bam, you have the camera on. And also in regards to like camera guys, like you know, in the daylight they seem, I mean, for me, from my eyes, they're pretty much identical. I can't really see a difference. However, under low light, you will see a difference in not only the video but also the photos. In low light, the S6 definitely performs a lot better. Basically, the pictures will come up like a little bit brighter, and the videos will be a little bit brighter and crisper, so you can see more things, as opposed to the S5 where it doesn't work as well under low lights. Another thing too, in regards to the camera, and let me show you how this works. Okay, is the shutter speed. The shutter speed and the autofocus is definitely faster on the S6. And let me just give you like an example. I don't know if you can see this or not, but check this out. Okay, I'm gonna start snapping at the same time. You see that? There's like a slight lag on the S5. I mean, look at the autofocus, okay? I mean, can you see the S6? I mean, it's like right on point. So, I mean, that's, for me, that's like a big no-no on the S5. I mean, that's why when I did a review on the this between the S5 versus the iPhone 6, the autofocus and the shutter speed is faster on the iPhone 6. But between the iPhone 6 and this S6, I think it's pretty much about the same. Another thing is too is the fingerprint scanner. Like on the S5, nobody uses the freaking fingerprint scanner because you have to kind of like slide it down. It's stupid. Most of the time it doesn't work. Nobody even uses it. However, with the S6, I mean, it works just as good, if not better, than the iPhone 6. You simply just tap your thumb on here, just hold it down, and bam. I mean, you get right in like every single time. And there's something else I wanted to talk about in regards to like image stabilization. When you guys are recording like video, you know, every time you look at the video on the S5, you'll see that it looks a little bit more shaky. In regards to the S6, it's definitely like much more smooth. The image stabilization on the S6 is far more superior. Okay, another thing is speaker position. Like, I don't know why the S5 did this, but they put the speaker like on the back right here. So if you're listening to music or something like that and you put your phone like down, it's going to sound all like mumbled. On the S6, they have it in a pretty good spot. It's actually on the bottom, so it doesn't matter like which way you put your phone, you're always going to be able to hear it. Another thing is the headphone placement. Like the headphone placement on the S6 is on the bottom here, versus the S5 is on the top here. And let me show you why I like it on the bottom. Okay, so let's say for instance, like, you know, you're listening to music. So let me just pop this in here. When I'm listening to music, you know, I put it on, and then I want to put it in my pocket. I just grab my phone and I put it in like this. This way, the wire is pointing like up. Now, if I use my Galaxy S5, you know, when I do something on here and then I want to put it in my pocket, I'm not going to put it in like this. I have to like turn it around like this and then put it in here, which is kind of, I think it's just like inconvenience for me. Okay, and basically the last thing is the wireless charging capabilities. Now the S6 comes with an internal built-in receiver. So basically if you have like a wireless pad, you can just like pop that on there and every single time it's going to charge wirelessly. And the S5 doesn't come with an internal one, but you can buy the actual receiver and you can pop it in the back, and it works just as good. But you know, you have to buy like an extra component, and it's just a little bit more inconvenience. Now, let me just tell you, regarding the wireless pad, a lot of people are going to be like, you're just freaking like, why waste extra money? You're freaking lazy. Why don't you just learn to freaking put the stupid plug in here? Well, I can tell you, it's really convenient. For those nights that you're in bed and it's dark, you turn the lights off and you're like on your phone, reading messages or research or doing like whatever. When you're about to fall asleep and you got to kind of like put the light on and look for the stupid thing and kind of like find to plug it in. With the wireless charging, I mean, it's really convenient when you're just about to fall asleep and you're done. Just reach over on your countertop and just pop it on there, and you're like good to go. Now the thing is too, these have become like really inexpensive. If you're going to get a wireless charger for your wireless keypad charger for your S6, I wouldn't recommend getting this one. This one here is like $30. There's another one that they have for like $13.99, and it's free shipping. And it's smaller than this. It's literally like the size of this. And every time you smack that on there, it'll charge your phone, and it charges it super fast. I'll put a link where you can get that like on the bottom. Anyways, that's pretty much my review between these two phones. I mean, if you had to like decide if you're going to get the S5 or you're going to pay basically double the price for the S6, for me and like for myself, I would just get the S6 because because of the camera is just like so much more superior. You don't really get like any kind of lags or anything like you do with the S5. So if you guys have questions in regards to either of these phones, just comment below. That's pretty much it, right? Thanks. Bye.